Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you are watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, both William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua are yet to comment on the invasion on the Kenyatta family and the damage that have incurred in that property. But going by the latest statement from William Ruto, in reference to police officers' duty and their independence in operation, then one Japheth Koome, the Inspector General of Police, must tread very careful in this country when he gets orders from whichever side, either Ruto, Gachagua, or whoever will give these orders. If he's not very careful, then William Ruto is going to land him in a hot soup. He will have no one to help him at the end of the day. I'm saying this because Ruto is confirming that the police officers are independent. They have their own budget, which is now in the office of the IG. Of course, he transferred. It means Ruto had a reason when he stripped off the office of the Cabinet Secretary of Interior the powers to oversight the resources. So IG has a budget. He gets direct the same way other people are getting their budget. So Ruto say that because they are independent in terms of even doing their own budget, they have to do their operation independently. Let me just quote him before we continue. Today, the Inspector General of Police is solely responsible for both the operations and the financial requirement of the police operations. The police force should make independent decision on what they want to do to secure the country. You see, even is referring to the police service as police force. I think in Kenya we moved long time. We no longer have police force. We have police service. But you see, Ruto is saying police force. That means that's how Ruto is taking it. So if you think Ruto is going to work with the police as a police service, that is not going to happen. He's viewing them as a police force. It tells you that Ruto is still deeper into the old constitution and the Nyayo era. That's how I want to rule going forward. But then, focusing on what Ruto is talking about as of now. His statement is coming at a time when we are seeing what has happened in this country. A church was burned, a mosque was set on fire, the Kenyatta farm was invaded, animals sold, demarcation of land. We are getting information even they had already printed valid title deed. They want to subdivide and give to people. We are getting information on the meeting that they had earlier, on Friday also, and the discussion. The members of parliament who were involved in that meeting. Then Ruto comes out with this statement. This statement has a two-way. On one side, is touching on the Inspector General of Police, Mutiambai, not Mutiambai, Ayuko, Koome, and on another side, there is a message he's telling Rigathi Gachagua. The question we will ask here, when Azimio asked for the mass action, notified police, was Koome acting independently when he was saying that there is no mass action that is going to take place in this country? He said it's null and void. Was he independent, or he was taking direction from someone? IG is on his own way. And if we continue to take orders from Rigathi Gachagua, because that's a man whom he was sitting in a meeting, and we know what happened later, then ultimately the buck stops with him. In fact, what Koome should know is that he is more answerable to the judiciary than to the executive. He must know. Because today someone will protect you because he's in power, tomorrow he will not be in power. You will face the full force of the law. So he should be very careful on what he's doing. Can he defend himself in the court of law? That should be the first thing you should think about. For example, they were brutalizing journalists, beating them, breaking cameras. But the court made a ruling. They are free to air the demonstration. So was he acting within the law or outside the law? It is a question he has to answer himself. But one thing that Koome should know, he is working with someone who speaks with two mouths. On one side, this mouth saying this. On another side, he's doing something different. That is William Samoei Ruto. Because what he tells you is not even honest with himself. This statement was for public consumption. You can consume this. But what happened at the background is something different. So in as much Koome will come with that noise he's making and the threat, intimidation, he must understand the kind of a man he's working with. Because literally what we are seeing here is William Samoei Ruto, who is distancing himself from the activity that have happened in this country. And by the way, there's nowhere you can pin down Kithure Kindiki on this matter. Kithure Kindiki was stripped off the powers to do with the matters to do with the financial. He has no say. So the powers in his office were reduced. Koome must understand why he was given that responsibility and money direct. What we know is that the police service should be independent, but it has never been independent. And when Ruto directed the money to go there direct, he was saying that actually we want it to be so much independent. Koome should be telling Kenyans why was he sitting in a meeting with Gachagua to make a decision on how to deal with the mass action. The same way court need to be independent, police should be independent like that. Such that you don't play politics into either side. You don't support the government, you don't support those who are in the opposition. You just follow the law. If the government side is wrong, kama ni arresting, shika hao. If it is the opposition when they are wrong, where is shika hao? As simple as that. But he actually showed that he's playing politics. And there was one side that he's supporting. That was very clear. Another message to Rigathi Gachagua. When Ruto said that police are police is solely responsible for both operations and financial requirement. So they have to act independently. What is he telling Gachagua? At one point, we know Gachagua has been giving orders. So Ruto is telling Gachagua, you have no right to give orders to police officers. Let them make their own decision. That's a message to Gachagua. That keep off security matters. Keep off giving your orders to Japheth Koome. Because Ruto is realizing that as all things unfold in this country, he has been exposed by Rigathi Gachagua outside there. Actually, Ruto has nowhere to hide his face as we are speaking now. Because when you get to any office, they see, oh, this is a man who is, who is giving order to police officers to allow people invade the former president land. The man who is tear-gassing opposition when they are demonstrating because of hunger. So he has actually exposed Ruto. That's why Ruto is trying to say that police should make their own decision. So Koome should come and tell Kenyans, has he been making his own decision as police? Or he has been taking orders from someone? Ruto is not in this country. He was taking orders from who? Is it Gachagua? And if they are independent, they should be answering the question. Where was the police when people were invading the private land belonging to the Kenyatta family? How come he was not aware? A man who has access to the intelligence in this country, how comes he was not aware that we had goons who are doing illegal operation for more than 24 hours in Kenyatta's farm, including burning the farm after looting? 24 hours? If he was not aware, and is actually genuine that he was not aware, he just need to resign. So he must know that Ruto might use him in whichever way he would want to deal with other politicians. But at the end of the day, Ruto will end up dumping him because he will tell him the police service is independent. So you are answerable to anything. There is no way Ruto will help him to carry any cross. Atabeba msalaba wake mwenyewe, hata saidiwa na mtu yoyote. Sasa hizi kabla kuja kusomea watu wa Azimio, awaambie vile maandamano ni illegal, kabla aenda apige wanahabari, kabla aenda kuvunja kamera zao, kabla aenda kuwa watu kule Kisumu, he should know that he is answerable to anything that is going to happen in this country. Ruto has told him that amenawa kwa hiyo mambo. So it is him.